The movie opens up in the slum area of Nagpur, India, where we are introduced to Ankush, a young boy who spends his whole day roaming around with friends. Other children of his age call him Don and take him as their leader. Don walks out of his house and unites with his friends to ride bikes and get into the city. Here, they perform illegal activities like chain snatching, stealing mobile phones, and many more. The money they get by doing all this is then used to buy food and drugs. One night, while Don and his friends are having food on the street, a married couple starts arguing near them. Because of the aggressive behavior of her husband, the lady, Razia, decides to walk out of the house with her 3 daughters. However, her husband follows her to the street and threatens her to return home. When Don notices this, he steps in to protect Razia and asks her husband to leave her alone. The following day, Don and his friends are sitting on a railway track and consuming drugs. At the same time, Don notices a boy, Sambhya, wearing a black shirt and staring at him. After the staring continues for a long time, Don gets enraged and confronts the boy. He grabs Sambhya's collar and asks him to look down. Sambhya, who is the owner of a garage, soon calls his men and urges Don to let go of his collar. Don walks away from there, not before slapping one of Sambhya's men. Following this, Sambhya and his men pursue Don to the slum till they're stopped by Vijay, an old football coach who is on the verge of retiring. Vijay separates Don and Sambhya and asks them about their reason for fighting. Don then replies that he just slapped Sambhya's men because Sambhya was staring at him. Vijay is startled after hearing the reason, and he sends both of them away. As they depart, Vijay takes a look around the area of the slum and realizes how difficult life is for them. After this, Vijay returns to his home, which lies just beside the slum. Vijay loves to help people and spends all of his income on the welfare of the needy ones. In his family, he has a wife, a son, and a daughter. His son does not seem happy about his social work because he's unable to get enough pocket money due to this. The following day, Vijay goes to the college and notices the football team chilling during their practice time. Right then, their new coach arrives there and Vijay realizes that he's soon going to be replaced. Later, while Don and his friends are selling the mobile phones that they stole at the lowest price, just enough to survive, it suddenly starts raining. The boys then go to the ground and begin playing football with a giant plastic jar. All of them enjoy playing with the jar and even manage to show some amazing football skills using it. Surprisingly, Vijay also arrives there, trying to return home faster, and notices them playing. He is greatly impressed by their skills and their way of playing, but also feels sorry for them as they do not have a proper football to play with. In the next scene, Vijay returns to the ground in the slum with a football, but does not find the children around. Meanwhile, Don and his friends are attacking Sambhya and destroying his garage. To their bad luck, police officers arrive there and lock them up in prison. However, one of their relatives comes to their rescue and bails them out immediately. The next day, Vijay again returns to the slum holding a football and this time notices Don and his friends playing cards inside an old broken car. He talks to them and offers them money only if they will play football for half an hour. As the slum people get easily attracted by the money, the group accepts the proposal and gets ready to play. Vijay then hands over the football to them and watches them play as they like. After the game is over, Vijay gives them the money as promised and asks them to do the same the following day. Following this, Vijay starts visiting the slum regularly and offers money to Don and his group for playing. Slowly, he starts introducing the rules of football to them and urges them to play in teams. Don and his friends get into the habit of playing football and arrive at the ground on time. After Vijay's training sessions, they develop an interest in football and improve their skills. Because of his friendly nature, the children get along with Vijay really well, and they take him as their guardian. On the other hand, Vijay's son, Laxman, is fed up with his father's social work and decides to go abroad to continue his study. Despite his mother asking him to wait till his father's retirement, Laxman leaves and flies to New York. One day, Vijay does not show up at the ground on time, making Don and his team curious. Soon, they show up at Vijay's house and demand he pays them money for playing football. Vijay clearly tells them that he does not have enough money to pay them. After a bit of thinking, Don tells Vijay to forget about money and just give them the football to play. Vijay happily accepts and provides them with the football. Later, we get to know that this was all Vijay's plan, to get the children into the habit of playing football without the greed for money. Later in the evening, Vijay visits the slum ground and watches Don and his group enjoying playing football. After the game is over, he gathers them and tells them that he wants them to play against his college team and put on a great performance. In the next scene, Vijay talks to the head of the college and requests him to organize a friendly football match between his college football team and the team of the slums. At first, the head refuses, mentioning that the children of slums are mischievous and dirty. But when Vijay asks him to arrange the match as his retirement gift, he agrees. The following day, while Vijay and the college team are waiting for the slums football team to arrive, Don and his friends enter the ground wearing funky clothes and sunglasses. Vijay approaches them and asks them about their dress, but they do not pay attention to him and just search for a beautiful girl named Bhawana, who is also a member of the college football team. Soon, the football match begins, and within the starting few minutes, the slums football team concedes a goal. Don and his team seem barely organized and begin fighting with each other after the goal. The college team plays really well and scores 5 goals in the first half. Throughout the first half, Don seems more focused on impressing Bhawana than to play the game seriously. Soon, the first half comes to an end, and Vijay walks to Don and the team to have a chat with them. He confronts the team for playing so carelessly and letting go of their chance to prove themselves. After some scolding from Vijay, the slum football team members become serious about their gameplay and start removing all of their unnecessary clothing items, including sunglasses and shoes. Now, all of them are ready to play the game barefoot, like their old slum style. Moments later, the second half begins, and the slum team is ready to prove their skills. The game then quickly changes momentum as Don scores the first goal for the slum team. Vijay starts getting his confidence back in the team and cheers for them. One by one, the slum team dodges the college team players and scores goals. With only 5 minutes of the game remaining, the slum team has managed to level the score with their opponents. They try hard to score an extra goal within the remaining time, but fail to do so. The game ends in a draw, and now it's time to decide the winner via a shootout. During the shootout, the college team scores their first 2 goals, while the slum team fails to score both of them. Surprisingly, the slum team makes a comeback and levels the score again in the next 2 shots. With only their last shot remaining, both teams are ready to score. Sadly, the college team player's shot is stopped by the goalkeeper, while the shot from the slum team's player ends up inside the net, making the slum team the winner of the match. Vijay seems really proud of the slum team, and they begin celebrating their win. After the game is over, Vijay invites everyone from the slum football team to his home and begins asking them about their life. All of the players tell their tragic stories, which include losing their parents at an early age, getting addicted to drugs, and never getting a chance to have their own house. Soon, Don starts narrating about himself and mentions that he's not as special as anyone else. Everyone agrees to the fact that because of football, they left all of their illegal activities and began enjoying their life. Vijay is overwhelmed and touched by their stories, and he deduces to continue helping them. The following day, as the slum children have a problem with their training field, Vijay gets involved in this and gives legal notice to the local businessman who is running his business in the area of the training ground. When the businessman tries to threaten Vijay, the whole slum people come together and start removing his items, making a beautiful training field for themselves. Now, the children of the slums begin enjoying football more, and they've also improved their skills. Vijay trains them often, and one day, while talking to them at night, one of the players of the slum suggests he organize a football tournament for all the slum children around the country. Vijay also likes the idea, and he decides to think it over. Moving on, the day of Vijay's retirement from his position as a football team coach arrives, and he unwillingly retires from the post. Following this, Vijay gets bad news that one of their players from the slum, named Yogesh, has died while trying to steal the coal from the running train. Vijay and the people of the slum are devastated by the news. Next, when Don goes to take money from the person to whom he sold the stolen mobile phone before, he gets caught by Sambhya and his men. Sambhya then starts misbehaving with Don and asks him to apologize. However, Don refuses to do so and runs away by smashing a bottle on Sambhya's head. In the next scene, we see Vijay talking to the head of the nearby campus to let him use the campus to organize a national-level slum football tournament. Vijay takes the responsibility on behalf of the slum people and successfully persuades the college head. Soon, they start distributing pamphlets around the city about the tournament and also to the whole country through the internet. People from all around the country show interest in the tournament and fill out the application form to participate. Later at night, while Vijay and the slum children are preparing for a place to stay for the other football teams, Vijay talks to Don over the phone and asks him to surrender himself to the police. Vijay does the same and gets beaten by the police officers along with 3 months of underground punishment. Meanwhile, Vijay and the slum team organize the tournament, and surprisingly, it becomes popular throughout the country and the world. During the tournament, Vijay notices a lot of promising players from different teams. Sadly, as all the teams are from the slums, they throw garbage around the ground and make the college ground look like a wasteland. The college head does not like this, and he confronts Vijay to stop the tournament. To his surprise, when Vijay returns to the football ground at night, he notices the children of the slum cleaning the ground and promising to maintain it throughout the tournament. After this, the tournament runs smoothly and finally comes to an end. During the closing ceremony, the college head praises Vijay for his good work and wishes him good luck for his future. Unbeknownst to Vijay, Laxman has also returned from abroad and is now ready to help his father move forward with the slum football team. In the next scene, Laxman approaches his father and tells him that they have received an invitation from Georgia to participate in the Homeless Football World Cup tournament. Vijay is very happy to hear this, and he starts informing the players from all around the country. The players are the same ones whom he watched carefully during the tournament. Laxman helps his father to search for funds for the football team and takes him to meet one of the ministers. However, Vijay does not feel like asking for money from anyone and returns home. On the other hand, while attempting to make their passports to participate in the international football tournament, the slum children face different problems. Don, too, faces difficulties getting clearance from the police station about his registered crimes. To his bad luck, the police officers refuse to help him and tell him that his case has already gone to court. Following this, Vijay and the rest visit the court and fight for Don to get his passport. The opposition lawyer tells the judge that the slum team is dangerous and may commit crimes in a foreign land. Right then, Vijay steps in and explains to the judge how football has changed their lives and they're fighting to get their lives on the right track. He also mentions that the judge should appreciate their effort and help them start a new life. Fortunately, the judge listens to Vijay and gives his team clearance to go abroad. In the last scene, Vijay reaches the airport with his Indian slum football team and is ready to represent India in an international football tournament. The movie then ends with Vijay and the team flying away in a plane to play a football tournament that they have never imagined.